Manny. Here we are,
Hello.
another week, another episode of Here for SR, the only podcast in the world that professional race driver Nick Foster can listen to without vomiting. That's an actual fact.
At least to the extent of my knowledge, that is a true fact.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ask him. Any listeners, I actually would encourage you to email him personally or send him a letter and ask.
Speaking of Nick, he had a pretty entertaining weekend at Zandvoort. I don't know if you watched any of GT World Challenge Europe, but race one especially was super entertaining in mixed conditions. I definitely recommend you give it a watch on YouTube if you haven't.
We'll play like a fun game. Like if we get so many viewers, we'll share his personal telephone number. That should be real good.
I'm not sure that he's going to like me very much if I do that, but
Manny will do anything for a viewer. That's what I heard. I'm confident.
the
There he
things the
is.
things for clout.
We're starting a little, hashtag Team Manny cracking the claws. There he is, 2 weeks in a
Ain't
row.
ain't no laws.
What flavor do you have tonight, Manny?
Tonight is delicious mango, which is only 100 calories per can.
Is that a 12-ounce can?
Is it a 12-ounce can?
Wow.
We're gonna go with yes.
Okay. That was truly fantastic audio. Hey, tonight we're talking to Maynard early. We're gonna talk Porsche Tag Heuer Esports Super Cup. Did I do it right? Brian
I think
Lockwood
so.
told me how to do it, but I think I did it right. We're gonna talk the first round of the
I'll just let
Rallycross.
Brian roast you, worst case.
I should have recorded him saying it because he did very well. It was very professional. We're gonna talk the Rallycross World Championship round one, and we're probably gonna talk some other crap that I haven't anticipated yet.
I mean, it will probably be crap. It's kind of our MO.
That's right. Hey, we're gonna get Maynard on right away. There might even be a cup race on right now, so I don't want to distract him too much. I'm not sure if it was early or if
Very
it's right
thoughtful
now.
of you, yeah.
Hey Maynard, did we have you?
Hey Tom, how's it going?
Excellent. Hey buddy.
I was just here at my computer checking out the scores on J-Ski real quick. During one of them breaks.
Good sight.
Wow. Yeah.
Hey, so you're not doing your show tonight, right?
Actually, I am. Thanks for reminding me about needing to do the introduction. All right, we're here for IR. This is our first episode. We got our guests tonight, Manny and Tom. Thanks for
episode. What was last week?
Thank you, Maynard. I wanted to clarify. I thought last week was episode 1. Did that one go in the vault due to copyright?
Well, yeah, that was what you call a dry run in the industry.
In the industry. Okay.
Yeah.
So I hadn't realized you were an industry insider. My bad.
No. So I just said, you know what? We're just gonna do episode 1 tonight and call it good. And we're gonna give out. Here's the plan. I don't want to give away too much, but I'm gonna take this audio file. I got it recorded on my phone through the speakers. I just got it held up to the microphone. I'm gonna put that on a CD-ROM somehow, and I'm gonna give it to this guy down at AutoZone. He wanted a copy, he said, so he'd listen to it on his drive up tomorrow morning. So.
He's almost for sure going to use it for his mixtape. You understand that, Maynard, right?
Well, yeah, I don't quite know what that is, but it's fine with me if he wants to mix it up with my radio show.
Just don't get a rewritable. Just get the CDR or whatever. I forget which one's which.
Yeah, whatever you're saying.
Do they sell CDRs still?
I don't know. I'm glad to hear that you're getting your distribution nailed down, Maynard. That's really important. That's really how you get the people to the people.
That's further along than I've gotten in the business, if nothing else. So I'm really proud of you.
That's right.
You got to promise you can't be taking my methods now and be running off with them. All right.
I promise. I promise I won't be doing
your
that.
Your secret is safe here for SR, a widely distributed show through various mediums.
That's right. The only show that professional racer Nick Foster can listen to without vomiting.
Hey, that sounds like a good show. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
what about nausea though? Have we confirmed whether he gets nauseous?
He is not. He is slightly nauseated when he listens to it, but he does not vomit. Has not vomited yet. Just slightly
Do you
nauseated.
think the nausea is more your voice or mine? Do you think?
I think it's my face. I think he watches video and he doesn't like
I
that.
hadn't considered whether he watches the video option.
Yes, I think he watches the video option.
Very
Maynard, let's talk. What do you want to talk? Do you want to talk? Do you want to hit on the race, or do you want to go straight into a little team news? What do you got for us tonight?
Let's see. Let's start off with the first segment. We ain't done yet.
Okay.
Ask Manny.
Ask Manny.
Yep.
Okay.
And this is, of course, a totally original idea that has nothing to do with our last week's episode.
What? I
Yeah.
don't know
See,
what
he
you're talking
doesn't. He doesn't know how to use a podcast
it.
catcher. You're probably safe.
All right,
Got it.
Manny. How you think about this cup race that's going on right now?
That's a good question. Let's see here. 1 second.
This is how we
How is
prove we're
coverage
live.
going? It says coverage will resume shortly, so probably a sign that I'm not going to be able to watch it.
Oh, well, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
So it's not good.
What's this week's track?
Las Vegas. Now, let me tell you something about Las Vegas. All right, back in, I think it was 1996. All right, they done reconfigured the thing. I think we talked about this about Bristol. Right, so Las Vegas used to be this like Martinsville bank track. It used to be way flat, and they done said, you know what? Let's turn it into Daytona or Talladega, and that's. I love the idea. I want that idea pretty much at every track, but we can't do it with Las Vegas. It's ruined the racing, and now they say they're just flat out the whole way. So I didn't want nothing to do with it.
So it's like Atlanta, but hotter and less humid.
Yeah, well, the thing about Atlanta, I don't know if you know this, but probably around the same time, they done reconfigured Atlanta. So back in the day, it used to be one of them actual ovals, right? Kind of like the shape of like a homestead. You think of Homestead, Miami before they done reconfigured that one. But now they got this daggone dog leg out front, make it like Charlotte. So if you're talking Atlanta, we're talking old Atlanta when it was good. Now it ain't so good, but even now it's bumpy.
Are there any tracks that got better after 1996, Mandarin?
Whoa, that's a hard one. Well, they reconfigured Daytona, and it used to be real bumpy, which I thought made it a lot of character. But now they just run so fast on that. I think the speed is better. You know what I mean? Like you got
Right.
speed or bumpy. I take speed over bumpy. So it's a
Speed over
the Daytona.
bumpy. Sure.
I think that's a good way to look at it.
And they done add lights, and so you don't have to, like, let's say it started raining, or you got some Mexican done running to the jet dryer. You can run that race now until 2 a.m. Right?
I don't think that's
Not sure that Juan Pablo Montoya is Mexican.
Well, what would your name imply him to be? Canadian? Come on, Manny.
I think Colombian, but
almost positive.
yeah,
That's all the same
can't be-
place for Maynard,
not an
probably. He's you don't know anything about any sort of Southern Latino-ness.
All right, now we done finished talking about Las Vegas enough. We're gonna take a minute now. I gotta recognize one of my sponsors, if you don't mind.
Wait,
All right.
wait, was that the whole Ask Manny segment? There was one question?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's all we got time for. Sorry, buddy.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Tight schedule.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you can get a word in, I guess, on our
All
show.
right.
Sure.
Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. Can't argue with a classic. Cajun Filet Biscuit is our signature Cajun spice chicken breast filet on a made from scratch buttermilk biscuit, and you're gonna love it. Download nutrition information.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Bojangles, for
You
sponsoring here for IR.
so you were. I'm just trying to understand. Before you've gone live with your first episode, you've already been sponsored by Bojangles?
Well, here's the thing. I figure you got to work in the sponsorships before you get it sponsored.
Hmm.
So what I'm going to do is take
Oh,
my
I
CD
see.
down before I go down to AutoZone, give it to Vern down there.
Smart.
I'm gonna go talk to the manager at the Bojangles sitting right next door. I'm gonna say, hey, we don't advertise you. Give us some money.
Or
Yeah.
maybe some biscuits. I mean, to be
Hey,
fair to
I'll
you,
take a
those
biscuit. I'll
are
tell you what.
very good biscuits.
Yes, sir,
How
indeed.
many biscuits do you think that a listener's worth?
I mean, I
What?
feel like it's going to be close to 100% conversion rate, Tom.
Wow. Okay. Well, we get a pretty good amount of biscuits.
Yeah.
I love a biscuit.
At least, I mean, I don't know the calorie number for those things, but I gotta imagine it's fairly high. I mean, I think
4 digits, I think, is probably safe.
Wow. I mean, we could eat just that for a long time off of one episode, probably.
I mean, just 2 biscuits is, I think, equivalent to your daily nutritional value of what you should take in calorie-wise. So if you think about it that way, I mean, you're only spending, what would 2 biscuits take? Like 3 minutes to eat? I mean, that leaves you 23 hours and 57 minutes of your day to really just, go at it and live your life.
Sure. So you're one of those like intermittent fasting guys. You say eat your 2,000 calories all at once. Listen to another podcast so you vomit, or don't vomit. This podcast you don't vomit. Is that right?
Or just listen to this podcast on repeat. I mean, we have several episodes now, so it's even better.
6 of them, I'm confident. Hey, okay,
that's like 9 hours of content.
Maynard, I'm sorry, we're getting we're talking about Bojangles. Your sponsor cut was
I
very
was sitting
good.
here thinking about biscuits now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So hey, you sent me a clip about some driving. Do you want to do that, or do you want to talk a little Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan?
Well, we can talk about them after this thing, but I figured, I need to get your advice about this thing. That's why I sent it to you.
Do you want to bring in? You want to talk us through it first? I got it up on the stream.
Yeah, you want to set the stage?
Okay.
Yeah, let me explain to you the situation.
Sure.
All right. So as you know, I run this 100% league, and some Saturday mornings, what I do is I get on there and I do practice laps. Right. So it's one of them practice sessions.
With the AI. I'm surprised you know how to use the beta UI, if I'm honest.
Well, I told you Charlie, he done set it up for me.
Oh, that's right.
Ah, your
that's
son,
right.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, just like, hey, I need
Charlie
to get one
Daniels.
of them practice sessions.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So this week it's at Kansas, of course. Dale Earnhardt Jr. won this race 2002. So just trying to do it for Dale.
Not the case, but okay.
And
all things, yes.
So getting a practice session, I say, all right, we're gonna start racing, right? And Tom, I'll tell you, I'm frustrated, and that's why I sent you this clip. Because I don't think I could have done anything different and gotten out of this situation. All right, so we're going down front stretch. It's big turn, it's big curved, right? Because we don't have no dog leg or nothing. Right, so we're going down front stretch, coming into turn 1.
Which car are you? Man, the quality is very, very poor.
Well, I'm of course the black number 3, Good Wrench.
Yes,
sir.
Here, I think, Manny.
You'll see it. All right,
you should have known that one, Tom.
So we're coming in turn 1,
sure.
And I swear to goodness, I held my line. I'm driving right where I need to be, right in that groove, and this doggone car come out of nowhere. Just cut me off. Biggest block I ever seen in my life.
Should we play this bit first here so we can kind of digest what's going on?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So here's Maynard. What do we got here? Here he goes.
Okay. He just come out of nowhere off the top groove there and just run me over.
Yeah, I can see that. Let's see it again. There you are.
That's one interpretation of the situation.
I agree, man. He really.
Oh, hold on. It gets worse.
Okay.
It's worse than this.
This is now. It's the same lap. I'll have you know, it's the same lap.
Yeah.
So this bozo done blocked me. I'm down on power, driving down the backstretch in the low lane. All right, and I look out my rear view mirror, and this doggone blue car took it 3 wide like
Oh
another
yeah, we see
bozo.
that right
All
here.
right.
Yeah.
And I say, I look at him in my rear view and I say, he gonna run me over unless I get out this bottom lane. So you know what I do? I look to my right there, out my right window. It's clear all the way up to the fence. I say, I'm gonna move up there, get out of this way, or else I'm gonna get kicked off the track, punted out to who knows where, like a
Hey,
football or nothing. So I
okay.
say, all right, I'm gonna just get up there outside lane, and you know what? This car, he just must have shifted into 5th gear or something. I don't even know. He just turbo button he got up on there in his Toyota, and done run me over too. Took about half the whole field. Tell you what.
Let's see this bit here. Go back 10 seconds. So this is coming out of the wreck, and then we got this blue car. Yeah, he's really coming out of nowhere. He's got a big run here. See, he's taking
got a
3
huge run.
wide. It's hard. Okay, yeah, big. Wow, yeah, big run. And
I
then,
feel like this should come with like a seizure warning.
oh dear. Oh no.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Who in the something does he think he is just coming out here taking it 3 wide on the second lap? I'll tell you.
So this was lap 2, and this
Yes.
is okay.
Yeah, you got in the
Tom,
fence a little bit.
do you want to play it back from the beginning, and
Sure,
we
yeah.
can? I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. I think.
Okay, here it is.
I don't know what they're thinking.
Here's Maynard.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
It looks like you may have had a throttle linkage failure. It looks like your foot got stuck.
The first one, he's saying.
Did you check your pedals, Maynard, to make sure they didn't get stuck?
You had quite a run.
I don't even know what you're saying right now.
You had quite a run, is what he's saying up there.
It looks like you may have had, a hardware failure where
No, he just done came down on me.
Mm-hmm.
Just a late block. I said,
right.
I ain't gonna lift. I'm here holding my lane down here at the bottom. I ain't gonna lift for some slow poke.
Sure.
But you're in the middle lane when you start.
To be fair, Maynard, when you hit him, you're kind of at the fence.
Yeah.
No, he done came down on me.
Sure.
That's what I'm telling you. And then when we made the contact, it drifted us both up to the fence.
Hey, here's a question. I don't know if you guys know.
Yes, sir.
If I get a video of someone in an AI race, can I protest them? That's just a hypothetical here.
Well, I figured you could. I mean, it's part of like the system and all.
Right. Yeah. So I'll definitely want to protest this guy here, Manny.
Yeah.
Not the car I would have chosen for a protest, but you
can
continue.
Is it the blue guy that takes it 3 wide later on?
I think so. Yeah. That's aggressive driving.
Aggressive.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Man, the audio only listeners are just
the black card. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So it sounds like we about done with this analysis of my driving.
I think
I feel like I just watched the same incident 2 times.
Well, you did. You played it twice.
I really, Maynard, you might want to check to see if you have some WD-40 and see if you can grease that brake pedal a little bit. It might help you make the corner a little better, I think.
I don't think there ain't no braking in these 1.5 intermediate cookie cutters anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. You probably lift, right?
No, don't lift.
Full throttle.
Yeah.
Full throttle the whole way around.
That's
but there's a problem with this package. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
it's the
you
package
think that
problem.
both of these incidents were because of A, other people's mistakes, and B, the package?
Actually, I think you're being a bit kind there by calling it a mistake. It's clearly intentional. They done outward to wreck me.
The AI is.
Whoever it is driving, yeah.
Yeah, the artificial intelligence, the robots.
So
that don't make no sense. How am I racing robots?
That's a good point. Tom, is this one of the first 7 seals of the apocalypse being broken?
I think it
Is
might be
the
two of them
robot
at once.
uprising now coming?
They killed Maynard, according to Maynard.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking this. He might be our John Connor. You know,
Mhm.
Maynard's warning us of the robot apocalypse.
I understand. I'm more of a
All right.
Terminator 2 man myself. Hey, sorry.
Yeah.
I think you're good. Basically, myself and Manny have both decided you did nothing wrong.
Thank you, Tom.
This
That's
is
what
nothing I haven't
needed
seen
to hear.
in A Fixed. So
Mhm. Hey,
Yes, sir.
let's talk. We got a little news from Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan.
Yep, I was about to talk
Sure.
about that.
Okay.
All right, so I got my buddy Vern down here. All right, he sweeps floors down at one of them
Okay.
big name shops in Mooresville. I can't tell you which
So
one.
is this his part-time job outside of AutoZone mixtapes or
Well, no, that's a different Vern.
different Vern? Got it. Okay, I just want to make
Got
sure
it.
that I gave him the respect he deserved.
Yeah,
Wait, do you give
Thanks for asking.
more respect for AutoZone, Manny? I think you're being a little judgy.
All right. Anyway, so he done sweep floors at one of them big name shops down in Mooresville. I can't tell you which one
That's
because
fine.
this might get him fired.
Sure.
So he's here telling us insider information. Right. I know there's a lot been said already about this Bubba Wallace Michael Jordan situation.
Mhm.
Right. I'll tell you what's been more around the shop that big names like J-Ski I ain't be talking about yet. All right.
Okay.
Now normally we pick driver. I'm talking as a cup team, right? We're looking for 3 main things in that driver, right? We're looking for can they drive?
Mhm.
We're looking for can they get some sponsorship like Bojangles?
Sure.
Right. Third thing is they articulate, which means can they speak good? Right.
Mhm.
Now, listen to me now. I ain't saying Bubba ain't 1, 2, or 3 of those things. All right. That's not what I'm saying.
Mhm.
What I'm saying is Michael Jordan picked Bubba for a different reason.
Oh no.
And here it is.
Okay.
I told you. Yeah, exactly. Nobody want to be talking about this. It might offend some people.
Oh no.
But you need to hear it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Tom, do you have a button to turn our monetization off on this video?
I have a button ready to cut his mic. So it's
All right,
fine.
cool.
That's what happens when you speak the truth. All right, so listen here. Listen close.
That's what I hear.
All
I'm
right.
on Facebook. That's what they say.
So Bubba Wallace, Michael Jordan, they got something in common, right? Which is something we don't really like too kindly down here,
Mhm.
right? We got a word from people like that.
Mhm.
It's you're not gonna like this.
All right, I'm gonna put you on a delay here.
It's called transplant. All right.
Oh.
So these people,
sure.
They come moving out here from over yonder.
Yeah.
From Mobile, Alabama, from New York City, and they come down here in North Carolina and they say, "Hey, we North Carolinians," and they, you know what they want to do? They want to come in here. They want to pay taxes. They want to play for the Tar Heels, and they want to start NASCAR teams.
Who pays taxes in 2020?
And so, I ain't saying they can't do it. All right, they can do it if they want to. That's fine. But the thing is, you just can't be successful unless you've been born and raised in North Carolina. You can't just be born outside and then come in here and say, I'm a North Carolinian. I'm going to play for the Tar Heels. I'm going to drive a NASCAR. You can do it. You just ain't going to be good.
Just to confirm, isn't Michael Jordan from North Carolina?
No, sir. I done plenty of research on this. And if you won't argue with me right now, I'm going to kick you off my show. All right.
Oh, you're kicking us off your show. Got it. Okay.
Michael Jordan, it's a common misconception because he done grew up in New York City and he done then moved here, North Carolina. And then he went to high school in North Carolina. He went to college in North Carolina, obviously played for Tar Heels. He ain't from North Carolina.
Look at that. He was born in Brooklyn. You're right. I had no idea.
I done my dang on research tonight.
Holy shit.
Now listen here. All right, there's plenty of evidence to back this up. You got all the
I'm
NASCAR
sure there
greats.
is. Yeah.
They're from North Carolina. All right, you got Dale
Right.
Earnhardt.
Yeah.
You got Richard Petty.
Mm-hmm.
You got Richard Childress. Now we're talking team owners. You got Rick Hendrick.
Are
all
any of
from
these
North
people
Carolina.
named not start with an R?
Dale Earnhardt.
Okay.
Good point.
Yeah, Dale
Hard to
Earnhardt Jr.
argue.
He's from North Carolina.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, they're plenty welcome, and I got great respect for Michael Jordan from his time at the Tar Heels, then going into the NBA. All right. They just can't. They just ain't gonna be successful. And
Okay.
I'll give you an example of someone who ain't successful in the Cup Series that ain't from North Carolina. Actually, I'll give you two. First one, Joe Gibbs. The second one would be Gene Haas. All right, now I've done research on Gene Haas. Turns out he's got one of this formula team that y'all be talking about all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It also turns out they ain't doing so good.
That's
And what I done
true.
figured,
That is actually a fact. Yeah.
what I done figured out is that he has had all this formula team the whole time, and he said, "I'm gonna go where I can maybe do better and go into NASCAR." So you got this international guy, Gene Haas, running in NASCAR just because he think he can do better than his formula team. And now I don't know what they done this year, but I don't think they doing too well in NASCAR either.
They may have used the same staff for both things.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
But that's their first mistake. You gotta be born and raised North Carolina to be successful in NASCAR. I just named plenty of people.
Sure. That makes sense.
Where
Dude.
should you be born and raised to be successful in Formula One then?
Well, probably I start with Europe.
Absolutely.
Right. Europe, the country, or?
Yeah, they call it the European Union. That's what I heard.
Got it. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's one country. Got
Yeah,
it.
they got their flag there is a Union Jack, is what I understand.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Yep. That sounds correct.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah. Well, I'll
But-
ask a European the next time I see him.
All these people here, they don't move into Mooresville, and then they say, "Hey, I'm from North Carolina." Ain't the case.
Yeah.
I'm here to debunk it.
Let's get a hot take from you, Maynard. You know about NASCAR. You're a fan. You're a enthusiast. I'd say you're probably a
Absolutely.
high level insider.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that Bubba Wallace with the new team makes the playoffs next year?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, I know that's why I'm
Yes.
asking it.
Denny Hamlin himself, because I know he's co-owner.
Mm-hmm.
He done almost missed the playoffs this year, or that what they call it, the chase for that cup. I think
Didn't he
it's a
easily
new
make
name
it?
for it.
Didn't he easily make it? No.
I can't tell you, but I do know he ain't from North Carolina, and he kind of struggling this year. I don't
Sure.
think he's ever won a cup championship.
Yep.
So
Sounds right.
I don't know. He could make it, but the thing is, Michael Jordan ain't from around here. He ain't never been in NASCAR, so I'd say doubt it. Now,
Well,
I
he
know
did have an
just in
AMA
case,
Superbike team. I don't know if you know that.
I don't know what that is, but
You
thank you for telling me.
You know what a motorcycle is, right?
Yes, sir. Like Harley
Sounds
Davidson.
communist.
Yeah, they race the sporty bike ones.
Well, that don't sound too safe.
Yeah,
means
that's
I
actually
love it.
it might be one of the truest things you've said on the show.
I mean, it's hard to argue.
Now listen here. I'm gonna give Michael Jordan a piece of advice. Okay, he's welcome. I told you plenty welcome in NASCAR. But what he needed to do, because he wants to take an interest in North Carolina things. We got this basketball team down here in Charlotte, nearby Kannapolis, where I'm from, right? Called the Charlotte Hornets, and they ain't done too good either. What Michael Jordan need to do is buy them up and make them into a great team, because I know he know basketball. He could revitalize the Charlotte Hornets.
So you're saying that Michael Jordan should buy the Charlotte NBA team?
Yes, sir.
Sure. I get
Because
behind that.
whoever's owning them right now ain't doing so hot.
Yeah, I would agree. Their owner's been pretty terrible for about a decade, probably a little more now.
The only good thing they did was some bozo were named the Bobcats for a while. We don't talk about that time period. So that some new guy bought them and said, "Hey, we're going back to the Hornets. We're going back to our teal. Was it teal and purple? They run those colors. That's the greatest thing they ever could do. Now all my shirts from the '90s that I got hanging up, they fit right in again.
Oh,
Hey,
perfect. Now? Can you wear those shirts still? You're the same size as yours?
Heck no.
Oh, okay.
But they're on the wall.
I'm sorry to hear.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why they all up on there anyway.
Hey, I'm gonna propose something to you. What?
Yes, sir.
What, So I think maybe he buys the team. He's got a NASCAR team, right? And we're talking North Carolina already. What if he changes the name? Tell me what you like better.
All right.
The Charlotte Stock Cars or the Charlotte Dale Earnhardts? What do you think?
Well,
what do you like better?
Heck. Well, it depends. Are they winning? Because if they're winning, we can call them Dale Earnhardt.
That's impossible to know. Yeah. Okay, I understand.
Then we can call them the Charlotte Jeff Gordons for all I care.
Wow.
Hot.
All right. That was enlightening.
Yeah.
Maynard, do you have anything else for us?
I think we're done wrapped up here in our Here for IR show tonight.
Sure. You can.
Thanks for having us on.
Thanks
Here
for having
IR
us on Here for IR.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
That's right. Here for IR is not a podcast that professional racer Nick Foster could listen to without vomiting.
Almost surely not.
That's right.
Y'all want a CD copy? I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I can figure out how to get it on there.
Sure, that would be great.
Right. I'll send you my carrier pigeon, and if you just want to attach it to his claws, that'd probably work really well.
Claws,
I think.
Yeah, I get it, because he's got white claws.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, Maynard. Thank you, Maynard.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. Hope you enjoy the end of this cup race. I'll see y'all next time, whenever that is.
That's right. We're 1 week away, buddy. Thank you.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Manny, interestingly enough, so that diecast that I showed, this guy here, this is actually a Richard Childress, not a Dale. He ran this car.
I actually did recognize the paint scheme as a Richard Childress car.
It's actually not a bad model for they do that. Most of the NASCAR Authentics aren't, kind of not very good, but this one's kind of cool. It's not bad. Came in this little box.
Yeah, I think it definitely gets filed under maybe uncommon facts for the layman, that besides owning Richard Childress Racing, he was a fairly accomplished driver in his own right.
Yeah. Check eBay though. I think I got that for like $2 or something. Easily worth it.
Love it.
You just got to pay shipping. Okay, Manny, let's do a little. Now that we got out from under that NASCAR bit, do you want?
It was a deep hit this week.
It was. So I know you've been away. You've been jet setting around. A little bit busy this weekend, so I know you didn't watch either of the races, but I have news for you. We do a little review, and I'll be sure to let you get in some hot takes. We have, unfortunately, friends of the pod they had very bad luck. I'm worried that could be why we don't have a guest tonight. But so we're gonna talk Porsche.
Counterpoint. So before we discuss, I think this is an important question to address.
Okay.
I don't believe any of our World Championship contending guests have had a bad result immediately following being on our show.
I'm afraid that has changed drastically.
Oh dear.
Yes. Okay. So
But they're still in championship contention, right?
no.
Shit.
Uh,
We're gonna have to think of a new way to sell the value of being on here, Tom.
Yeah, because you don't get any value from the viewership. You don't get any value of legitimacy. If you don't enjoy your time, it was probably a complete waste.
I mean, it really just leaves knowing that Nick Foster has heard your name at least one time in his life,
And
and
not
he'll
vomited.
probably forget it by the end of the episode.
Yes, that seems likely. Anyway, so coming into the Porsche Cup race here, there was only 3 guys that could win the title with 2 rounds left. You have Sebastian Job, Sebastian Joby Job.
Producer Job, yeah.
You got Josh Rogers, defending champion, and you got Alejandro Sanchez, although he would need a miracle, basically, and he had a qualifying ban for too many incident points. So really, we're talking Job and we're talking Rogers.
Right.
And Rogers gets pole, but remember, you go to 8th. You know, they do the top 8 reverse. I think Job started 5th or something. Here is where we run into a little bit of guest trouble. Brian Lockwood was seemingly kicked out of the practice session. Dropped the system dropped him, the server dropped him, and he didn't get back in. And
did he have a throughput error, I'm guessing?
Unclear, but basically he did not make the race and finished with 0 points. Unfortunate.
That's tough.
It started better for our man Jamie Fluke, who was in the sprint race looking great, sitting top 5.
I'm noticing you're emphasizing started great.
However, he was murdered on the last lap of the sprint race and flipped and died in the air. And, of course, finishing poorly in the sprint race means that for the feature, he started 30th.
Oh, dear.
And came away in the end with 3 points. I would like to point out, so in the feature, there was only 4 guys that set a 3-minute 59. Everyone else was 4 minutes or above. One of them was Jamie Fluke. So it sucks that he had so much pace and didn't really get to put it to use. But so it is.
Wait, did you say sub 4?
Yep.
So having done quite a bit of that race this week on the normal schedule, sub 4 is insane. I only know personally one person who is regularly been sub 4 this week that I've seen with my own 2 eyes. So pace-wise, that's pretty crazy.
Yep. They're pretty good. So we got Job and Rogers.
World Championship drivers, pretty good.
Pretty good. Job and Rogers. Basically, we ended up with Rogers winning the feature, but Job in second. Rogers scored the most points on the race and did extend the championship battle to Monza in 2 weeks. But Job only needs 6 points to clinch the title next week, or 2 in 2 weeks. And it seems pretty likely.
Is Monza the season finale?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. What a place to end the season.
So he doesn't, I mean, I guess he could wreck both, and Rogers could take near maximum points, and that would get Rogers the title. But it's as long as nothing bizarre happens, Job seems to probably have it wrapped up. So I guess we'll see in 2 weeks, but it was a good race.
We do have drivers coming back from suspension at Monza, so
oh god,
I don't know. Maybe the pendulum swings the other way. We'll see.
This is something I want to talk about. So the racing quality was very poor, in my opinion, for this round, especially in the sprint race. It was bad. It was bad. It was probably, I would not be surprised if we get more suspensions for the last race. I don't think there are going to be any real contenders, but It looked bad. There was crashing into the last chicane, midfield, and then someone came back on track and wrecked more of the field. So overall, not good. But, we talked about Beneke and Rogers a number of times on this show.
Right.
And do you think Beneke cost Rogers the title, or at least a chance at the title?
I mean, Rogers managed to stay in it till the last round, even after both shunts. So I'd say Rogers has done quite a bit of the work on his own. Probably, I think the fairest thing to say would be that the championship battle would be much closer had it not been for back-to-back weeks with incidents.
Finally, something going on in the chat here, Manny. Here for SR should try and take off from the Conrad Strait in a 747 Boeing. Have you played
I
any
actually can do
flight
that on
sim?
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Have
That
you
is
done that?
pretty helpful advice.
Interesting. I haven't played any. I try to keep my rig strictly sim racing because I can't. I mean, if I start something, Manny,
Your wife will probably divorce you. Yeah, you probably should not.
that's right. The Beechcraft worked.
Yeah, I feel like Conrad Strait is not that long. It's only, I mean, there's the kink, so that would not go well. It'd have to be a small plane for sure. I'll do some testing and report back next week on how
Excellent.
successful this
Excellent.
was.
Just stream it on here for SR, Manny.
Oh,
that's
perfect.
what everyone really wants to see. They don't care about the show. They want the dumbass
Maybe I'll record
flighting.
a clip of me trying to take off from Conrad Strait for you.
Well, that would be excellent. Okay, so we got a little bit of that. Now we're gonna go to another friend of the pod, but hasn't guessed it yet. A little G mains.
So would it be a friend of the pod where you're kind of like a friend, but you're still in the talking phase? You haven't like fully committed.
Yeah. I'd say here for SR and Garrett Mains are not dating, but they're kind of in like the flirting,
We're in the talking
flirting
phase,
stage.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But he did make the world championship, and we had round one.
That's not the only world championship he made this week.
Well, he made the Pro Series.
It's still pretty incredible.
Oh, absolutely,
So
very good.
for some context, Garrett has just qualified this week, I believe in 15th, for the Pro Series, which is the next step on the Road to Pro ladder for NASCAR. So the NASCAR Pro Series, the NASCAR World Championship has 3 separate phases. Phase 1 is Road to Pro, which is in the trucks. Then we have the Pro Series, which is the bottom 20 of the Coca-Cola season standings versus the top 20 of the Road to Pro standings over, is it 6 or 7 weeks this year?
6.
6 weeks. So they'll race each other for 6 weeks, one of which will be Daytona. And then at that point, the top 20 finishers in the Pro Series will be going to the Coca-Cola Series next year to compete for, I believe we're at $300,000 now?
So it was this year. We'll see what we're at next year, yeah.
I would
A lot of
imagine
cash.
probably close to the same.
Very impressive.
Since it's a multi-year deal.
Very impressive. I was about to say unfortunately, but probably for the best. He's an NIS fiend, and he said if he died early in NIS, he'd show up on the show and give us a little chat. But I think he's still racing at the moment, which is it's acceptable. I find that to be acceptable.
Would you say Garrett's biggest problem is that he's too good at the game?
Yes. Yes, I would say that. He's too good at the game.
I think the last time we checked, Tom, Garrett's top 3 in the world for combined iRating across all 4 disciplines.
Who's higher?
It might be Garrett at the top. Obviously, we have Majeski with doing 10K twice, but it might be him and Johan Harth. I'm thinking maybe at the top. I'm not sure if he does any dirt oval.
It's interesting. I wonder if that's like searchable. Anyway, I'm 3K in 3 disciplines now, Manny.
I'm
Does this
still
please you?
1,300 in one of them. So
You get there, buddy. No, I mean, I wouldn't. Honestly, I'm not sure if I'd recommend it. Let's talk a little WC. This
right.
first round at Hell, the new track in Norway. And I think,
based on the reviews, it sounded like it wasn't just the name of the track this weekend.
well, okay. So as I watched this while I took a run and I watched this, and I think the heats were awesome. Okay, so I guess they have live race control now, and living in the fast lane in the chat, local track 300 kilometers away. I don't know if you know what local means. That's pretty far, but
Norway is pretty sparsely populated.
anyway, the heats are really good. So I guess they have live race control now, and there was like some dooring, but it felt really, I don't know how to, like, it didn't seem sim racy. It's like someone gets in there and it was like exciting. There was, there's
Right.
some
It was like
bumping.
actual like door banging racing, like
Yeah.
what you would see in like a series highlight clip kind of deal.
Yeah, it was good. And I found that to be really good. And then we got to particularly the second last chance qualifier, I'm afraid. And our man Garrett Maines is racing for, I think it might have been the lead at the time. But he and Jake Robertson, I don't think it was John, I think it was Jake. Jake kind of threw it in there, doored him, and Garrett bumped him in the next corner, and it slowly escalated from there, and they took out who was going to probably easily be the winner. And it was that part was like very much like last year Rallycross World Championship wreckage, unpleasant, not very professional looking. But overall, I think I just want to say I think their broadcast was good, and I think the package, the racing was better. I don't know. So they did the 2-car teams now. Are you aware of that? How they didn't do a draft, they did like a free agency, kind of like the Coke Series does.
Yeah, I did see that. And I think that our Senor Maines is racing for Reinhold, isn't it?
Yes, I do believe.
Yes.
The car looks really good.
For those of you not familiar, Reinhold is a relatively, I'd say they're like a midfield contender in real life IndyCar, so a pretty decent team.
In the chat, Hell is honestly not that good of a track. Its only selling point is the place name and then the place it's in. I actually think that, I haven't driven it in sim, but I do, watching it was actually it seemed like a really good track for battling. Maybe the guys driving it, the driver's opinion is not that, but I liked watching it. I thought it was a good show.
It might be one of those that it's a good spectator track, but maybe not necessarily the most pleasant to drive. As an aside, how awesome is it that iRacing went from the Dirt Road World Championship being maybe and being sponsored by Thrustmaster last year to this year being sponsored by Yokohama with a larger prize pool than last year's.
Good point. Yeah, really good.
I have to think that the explosion in popularity of iRacing this year has probably contributed to that.
Yeah, Yeah, no, it's great. I hope that we see that continuing over all the disciplines. But yeah, it's really cool. Anyway, we'll get some
Like you
results
mentioned,
here.
the racing overall, I mean, yeah, the last chance qualifiers, I think part of it is, the desperate nature of the last chance qualifier, people throwing everything and anything at it to try and make the feature. I think probably contributes to maybe people making moves they wouldn't otherwise make. But even that notwithstanding, I think it was pretty entertaining, at least what I was able to see of it.
It was good. It was good. I think so. We'll talk about the results. So Mitchell DeYoung qualified on pole and won his heat. Big surprise. Surprises no one. We did get a little surprise in our feature winner is the rookie Ilari Lamisevu. It's a really tough name.
Yeah, it looked like Vendaval had 3 people make the final, didn't they?
Um, is he a Vendaval guy technically?
I'm pretty sure that he is, yeah.
What's his drafted team? Do you know?
Maybe Andretti? I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
I think it. Well, let's see here. Should say right. I think it might be CR22 Motorsports. Chad Reed. I think that's who it is. So many questions. Guess this news article they put out isn't very good. I watched it. It said CBDMD on the side of his car, but I think it's a CR33 team, but he could be a Vendaval guy on the sim racing back end. But it was good. This is a pretty good race, and he got the win. Although with the heat points and the qualifying points, Mitchell Young is actually the points leader with 26, and then Ilari with 23, John Robertson 22, and then the next specs after that is Tommy Mäkinen with 14. And
as an aside, Tommy Mäkinen, who is not maybe who real life WRC fans may be thinking of, is actually his son, from what I've been able to discern, which is, I think, extremely cool.
yeah, it's not him, but it's a similar fella. I don't know if it's the namesake or if that is actually his son.
I did some whatchamacallit, from the research I was able to do on the internet, it does appear that it may be his World Rallycross Championship, World Rallycross champion for Mitsubishi, Tommy Mäkinen's
Wow.
son. And he also races junior rally in Finland. So,
well, cool.
one way or the other, very talented fellow. The field this year, I think, for the World Championship in Rallycross is probably as stacked as it's ever been.
We did in the feature race. There was only 2 non-Subarus. Again, we'll see if it's a little bit different in the future rounds. I will note that the VW had the best lap of the race. So Bo Albert and the VW had the best lap of the feature. So I'm hoping that we can keep seeing the track get more and more worn off, because I guess the Fords and the VWs are faster later when the track's worn. So we'll see. I guess part of that is the shorter wheelbase makes it easier to keep all 4 tires on the worn line.
Yes,
That's my understanding. So
that's mine as well. Yes.
A little quick fact in the chat here. Sandre Stetsas, he's a VLN racer, and he also is in the Porsche Super Cup. His local track is hell, but he's probably never actually raced there. Well,
that is a really cool fact.
I don't want these bullshit facts in here if you don't know he hasn't raced there or not. We want hard
one way or the
evidence.
other, it'd probably be his local track if it's within 500 kilometers of where he was born, based on living in the fast lanes feedback.
500 kilometers? I mean, 500 kilometers, it's forever away.
I mean, that's like from Jacksonville to Miami. It's also about the same as I think San Antonio to Dallas. So
Like that's like 300 miles.
yeah,
Wow.
yep, that is correct.
Interesting. Texas is just huge.
It is quite large, yes.
Well, that's all I got on World Championship news, Manny. I do. We had round 2 of the Sprint Car World Championship qualifiers. I had a reasonable result, and it did propel me to the top 20 transfer spots if the season ended now. Of course, with drops, probably less likely to happen, but at the moment, it could, if it ended now, I'd have a little black stripe on my name. So we'll see how we go.
That would qualify to be a guest of the show.
Yes. Currently, I am not qualified to be a guest of the show. Maybe someday.
But that's why we host it.
I think that's all I got for you, Manny. Unless you have anything else for me.
No. I think that about covers this week. With me being out of town, there was only so much content that I could produce. And given that my output is already suboptimal, I think it was a losing battle from the get-go.
So we got another Rallycross event, I believe, on Saturday. Round 2 is it's in 2 weeks' time at Daytona, so not this week. I don't think we have any World Championship events this week, unless I'm mistaken.
Oh dear, that means we may actually have to come up with content.
Oh yeah, we'll have to get a guest. Man, hate talking to people, right?
Who wants to talk to people on here?
Living in the fast lane thinks he's qualified to be a guest on the show. There's lots of quote unquote interesting sim stuff. Sim racing commentator, interesting.
Okay, that actually is kind of cool. That probably makes him more qualified to host the show than me, if nothing else. So
Finally, I can fire Manny. Perfect.
I know this has been a long time dream for you. So congratulations, Tom.
Ever since I started.
I'm still gonna ban you, though.
That's fine. Ban me, baby. Look forward to it. Well, I think that's all we got. Hopefully, Nick Foster, professional race driver, you have not vomited. Otherwise, I'm a liar. So, in the chat, no, that just means that when you listen to the show, you probably want to be drunk. I don't know if you do the show drunk. Although I don't know.
I'm gonna need something a little stronger than a White
I
Claw
don't
for that, but
know.
I'll see what I can do.
I don't know how many claws Manny's had. I'll tell you what, though. At this point in my life, I could probably, if I have like 2 beers, I'm pretty good. Not much of a tolerance these
Do you
days.
describe yourself as vibin' at that point?
Mm-hmm. Describe myself as Joey Loganoing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And on that note, Tom, a pleasure as always.
Yeah, ditto. It was fun. We'll get back at it next week. Hopefully with some real content. We can't just bullshit our way through the whole deal.
I mean, a generous description, but yes, it's good to do.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Everyone, you have a fine evening or morning. Whatever you do, whenever you listen to your show.
I if you're listening to this between the hours of 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., I hope you have a wonderful brunch.
I do like a good brunch. We should do maybe another brunch time period sometime, Manny. The first episode of Jamie Fluke was a little brunch time. We could bring that time back.
I'm having connection issues. Have a good evening, Tom.
That's such a fucking lie. Okay, I'm out of here.